All right. How you doing, folks? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report for a Ruby Tuesday, October 5th. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your day. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner or hit the subscribe button below this video if you are using a mobile device. Today's podcast is brought to you by bullpenpicks.com. Anybody can play, anybody can join. Sign up today and follow the top scores each and every day right here at bullpenpicks.com. Our leader is still Ed Drake at 803. The Chuck, 5252. Michael Parachuk at 786. And there's Crankster, 374. Greg Franklin at 785. And those are your top three pickers today at bullpenpicks.com. It was a pretty quiet day yesterday, Major League Baseball. No games to really go through and watch. But we do have an American League wildcard game today between the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. And as you can see, I'm very torn today on which team I'm going to take. Wearing my Boston Red Sox sweatshirt, but my New York Yankees hat. And I thought this would make for a great conversation piece today on the Raymond Report. So if you're getting a good chuckle at my expense, I appreciate that. Now, how was your day yesterday? How did you guys have a good night last night? Did you pick the game between the Chargers and the Raiders? And did your selection win? Hopefully you picked the under in that game. That's what our selection was yesterday. And it was a nice winning selection. And welcome to the Raymond Report. My name is Ron Raymond. I'm a 5-time champion handicapper based out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. That's right, Crazy Canuck above the 49th parallel. Bringing you this podcast, sports betting podcast, each and every morning, Monday to Friday now. We're going to go Monday to Friday. I think it's time to take some weekends off, recharge the batteries on the weekends, but I will still have my free play videos that I'll release on weekends. But yeah, I think the weekends is time to recharge the batteries and get energized for Monday. So Monday to Friday, we're going to go right to it. All right, I want to say good morning to Breakfast Club, Gloria K. Hey, is Gloria K still in Wisconsin, or are you back in the Windy City there, Gloria? There's the Bulldog, the Underdog Sniper. Hey, Underdog Sniper, my good friend from Winnipeg. Quentin Johnson, good morning, Bullpen. Finally bought a membership. What great info I got for the under last night. Awesome. Thanks for the support, Quentin. Appreciate that. And there's Peyton Sports Girl, up bright and early there on the West Coast in California. And there's, I think it's California she's from. And let me see here. We got Bobby Hubby. Haven't seen Bobby in a long time. Yeah, that's right. Long time, Ron. That's right. Bobby, how you doing, buddy? And Bobby's with us, been with us for a long, long time. There's Telly. Good morning, Telly. Good morning, everybody. And Pele J. How you doing, Pele J? And Quentin Johnson, Peyton, I follow your underbet. Great pick last night. Yeah, I'm happy that panned out. Hey, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, right? But the one thing you will always get out of me is an honest effort, and I'll always put in my my 8 hours in a day, right? There's Zachary Reed. Good morning, Zachary. And Raiders let me down, says Quentin Johnson. Yeah, that was a too tough to call when it came to the side, right? That's why I like the total in that game. And Peyton Girl says, they let me down too, Quentin, says Peyton Sports Girl. And there's Ball Cash from the ATL. How you doing, Ball Cash? Hey, OG Wheat and Ball Cash, two of our good friends here from the ATL. Morning, Ray, been watching for about a week now. Awesome show, says Kenny. Well, welcome to the show, Kenny. And appreciate you tuning in each and every day. And again, if you don't catch us on the live show, that's the good thing about YouTube. You can always watch us on the replay. And it's, had a good conversation with somebody in the industry the other day, or yesterday, was it? And we're talking about the new habits that are, people are forming with their leisure time, right? People who are, if you're, over than 40 and you've probably been brought up on terrestrial radio and you were scheduled to, if you want to watch the Rome show, you're, 12 to 3, depending where you're from. If you watch Dan Patrick, you're from 9 to noon, or whatever show you guys watch on the radio show, right? Which I call radio now electronic wallpaper. But I think the what really is going on in our lives and our habits is that the carte blanche, right? We go with things on our own pace, and we all live busy lives. And it's not like this, the 80s and 90s anymore where we were fixed on schedules. I think podcasts and YouTube and people get to watch the show and listen to the show on their own time. And it's not, not on their own time, but on their own schedule. makes it much easier for everybody. And, I enjoy doing this. And again, I enjoy the live crew every morning here in the bullpen. That's what we call our chat box. And we got a great community forming. And so I think it's always good to have. If you don't catch the live show, you can always have access to the replay here on our YouTube channel. All right, we got a pretty good show lined up here today. I can't wait to show you guys our new final score system forecast software. We've been working on this now. Well, every day is a process here, right? Every day, as I say, I clean the floors, I empty the garbage, and I do security at night. And me and my guy Pradeep from India, who's been with me for over 20 years, it's an amazing story. The how I met my programmer one day. And so Pradeep has done a phenomenal job with his team, with the team over there in India, and it's been a great relationship working with these guys. And without Pradeep, I tell you, I don't know where I'd be right now. So if you're listening, Pradeep, I really appreciate you and your team. You do a fantastic job, and you keep the hamster going in the wheel here at the ATS Stats, and we all appreciate you for sure. All right, let's see here. We got OG Wheat just logged in. How you doing, OG? And looking at today's show, as you know, we the starting point. If you had a chance yesterday to watch some of my videos that I did in July, the Dog Days of Summer series, great video tips. Hopefully you guys were able to watch them. Again, every month you should go look at the titles. You don't even have to look at the video. Go look at the titles to really get a refresher on keeping sharp. Keeping a sharp mind in sports betting, because there is so much to grasp in sports betting that we tend to forget the little things of the fundamentals of sports handicapping, right? So check out those videos. If you're interested in my book, Ron Raymond's Top 50 Sports Betting Secrets, go to atlstats.com, go to Tools, go to 50 Greatest Sports Secrets right here. And there's 80 because I have 30 bonus tips in that book. And you can get that right here at atlstats.com. And tutorial videos, if you're interested in learning the Rain Report and how exactly does you can incorporate value, the percentage play, and the performance cycles into your handicapping. That's what I look like without hair right there. Hey, and you can see you got 18 videos right here, and it's all the tutorials on the website of atlstats.com. And horse racing. If you're into horse racing, hey, as you know, I'm I wouldn't say a hardcore horse racing fan. I'm a very recreational horse racing fan. Horse racing to me is like when I need a timeout from all the big four major sports, right? Horse racing scratches that itch for me. All right, and also if you're interested in my premium picks, you can get them here at ATS Stats. Go to Ron Premium Picks, or if you use promo code OCT25, you can get 25% off your next membership right now. And use OCT25, get 25% off a membership, which also gets you picks for NFL, college football, MLB, NBA, NHL, and the CFL. And you get access to the Rain Report, the new forecast I'm going to show you in just a few minutes. And you get that each and every day right here at ATSstats.com. All right, there's probably, let me see here, Gloria K. Oh, there's Miss Denica. How you doing, Miss Denica? My son is a pro golfer, Gloria K. Yeah, Gloria K's son's a professional golfer. So she sometimes you'll see Gloria K. She'll be tuning in sometimes from different states. In fact, she was in Wisconsin this week. So we wish Gloria K. and her son all the luck on the PGA Tour. And it's good to have you on board here, Gloria. And she plays, Quentin says he plays golf too. Playing golf, Gloria? I play as well. Hey, you know what? Wouldn't that be a great time? A Vegas golf tournament of the Rain Report, right? ATS, the bullpen. Hey, we call it the bullpen golf tournament. We'll bring everybody out to Vegas, and we'll bring our clubs, and we'll shoot. We'll shoot 18, because I know you guys. If you want to shoot 9, you'll probably spend the other 9 at the 19th hole, right? So we got to keep you fresh there for the full 18 rounds of golf, and then we'll hit the 19th hole, and then we'll share some great laughs. But that would be a lot of fun. I would love that one day. Just meet all the people here at the bullpen, and we pick. Has to be Vegas. Either Vegas or. Yeah, it has to be Vegas. I don't know where else we can go and have fun and play, right? I think Vegas would be a great trip for a golf tournament. Yeah. I think Quentin Johnson says sign me up, right? Sounds good to Quentin. I think Quentin's in, so I didn't have to do a lot of convincing to Quentin to get his clubs ready, right? I'm a lefty too. I don't know. Is your son a lefty, Gloria? I'm like old Mickelson there. I'm a lefty. I shoot left. I write with my right hand. It's weird, eh? I write with my right hand, but I shoot left. It's all good. All right, there's OG Week. Good morning, OG. And let me see if I missed anybody there. I'll just Zachary Reed's in the house. And who else did I miss? Anybody? Nope, I think I got everybody, so that's great. All right, let's get on with the show, and let's talk horse racing right off the bat. We always pay our respects to the horse racing industry. We give out one free tip, and today's free tip is going to be Indiana Grand. And the reason why I take Indiana Grand on the Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is they normally have the better purses, right? You look at the purse, Indiana Grand, compared to some of the other tracks is like, 5 to 7, 8,000. But Indiana Grand, they want to attract the top drivers on the off days, of racing, and that's normally Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? But I think Indiana Grand goes Tuesday, Wednesday, and we'll see. All right, let's go here with $38,000 allowance race. Post time is 2:25 Eastern, 6 furlongs on the dirt, and we are gonna go 153 today in race number 1 at Indiana Grand. Dirty Justice. Hey, Dirty Justice. That's a good name right there. Morales taking a ride on Dirty Justice. And the number 1 horse, Dirty Justice, is 7-2 morning line. And the number 5 horse, Compass Point, with Perez taking a drive here on the 5 horse, Compass Point. The 5-1 morning line on the 5. And Silent Sonata with Sanjur taking a ride here on the number 3 horse, Silent Sonata, 8-1 morning line. Look at those odds: 7-2, 5-1, 8-1. And their value play of the day, the Joker selection, is the number 7 horse, Ferdinand, with Pompel taking a ride here on the number 7 Ferdinand, and 7-5 morning line. If you're going to play an exacta today in Indiana Grand's race number 1, I'm going to recommend 1-5, 5-3, 3-7. And if you're going to play a trifecta ticket, 1-5-3, 7-5-3. Always remember to box those horses. And if you're going to play the Joker all day, all night, I always recommend the Double Dutch betting system, and that is if you like to bet all the Joker's picks today and you got like a $20 budget or a $10 budget, let's say you got a $10 budget for all the races, put 5 to win, 5 to place on the number 7, Ferdinand. This way he comes in first, you get paid twice. He comes in second, you get paid once. All right, those are your free plays today at Indiana Grand. And again, you can get the entire tip sheet for free by going to our website, atsstats.com. And we give you the entire tip sheet for free each and every day here at our website. I thought of another good place we can play some golf. Maybe Gulfstream Park, right? Maybe we go play it's a little bit of 18 hole, maybe a 9 hole in the morning, then go golf, and then maybe a 9 and the nightcap, right? I think Gulfstream Park would be another good golf trip. Hey, speaking of Florida, anybody ever been to the Riptide in Fort Lauderdale? Or was it Fort Lauderdale? I think it was Fort Lauderdale. The Riptide Ocean Hotel on the that big boardwalk in Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, the Riptide Hotel. Man, I went there with my wife there a couple years ago before COVID hit, and then I get an email a couple days ago asking me if I want to come back. I said, oh man, would I ever love to go back to the Riptide. Hey, anybody ever been there, the Riptide? If you go on Google, just do a Riptide in Fort Lauderdale. What a great place right there on the beach. Little tiki hut there right beside, people playing music in the morning. Hey, nothing like waking up in the morning and, it's not the morning, maybe noon, hey, depending on what time you get up. But so the Riptide Hotel, a little plug for the Riptide. And man, that Florida, you ever been to Florida, that boardwalk where Jimmy Buffett's hotel is? It's a great, great place. Man, I'm just getting seasick right now just thinking of it. Man, I wish I was out there. Well, not now. The temperature's pretty good here. It's 15 in Ottawa today. But once we get to about minus anything, it's time for some Riptide, baby. It's time to go to the Riptide. All right, what else are we saying here? Bobby, let me see here. What's up, Ray? Says Derek Para. I love the video, says Bobby. I have picked up so much on how to use the website to find value. I'm rolling down today. Right on, Bobby. Appreciate that. If anyone's going to Vegas on Friday, come say hi to me. Peyton Sports Girl will be at the Westgate. And if you're in Vegas, go see Peyton Sports Girl. She's been a long-time member here. And we wish her a good weekend this weekend at the Westgate. And I think she's putting in her picks too, right? I think you're in the contest over there. My son is a lefty, says Gloria K. Oh, that's awesome. Maybe I don't need to bring my clubs. I'll just borrow his, eh? Oh, all right. Let me see here. What we got on deck here? We did the free horse racing. Oh, yeah, the World Series of Handicapping. Let's go take a look and see if our good friend Falchu is still leading the contest right there at the World Series of Handicapping.com. How you guys? Are you guys in that contest? Are you guys doing well? I'm so. I guess I'm about 50%, I would say, with my selection. Let me just bring this over here. And there's the World Series of Handicapping. Speaking of contests, right, Peyton Sports Girl? We do have our contest here at the World Series of Handicapping. I'm 14-14. Yeah, I'm 50% right now. Falchu, this guy is absolutely Kevin Dolan right here, 20-8, but he's tied with Wasted 24. Hey, Wasted 24. Hey, that's not a way to go through life, son. Remember there was a movie that had a saying like that? Being wasted in 24, not a good way to go through life. But you can see Wasted 24 is 19-9, 53.2% units. Falchu, 53.2 units too. And the Phenom rounding up the third place at 20-8, 51.50. I like the Yankees tonight. I need some leans and trends, says Derek Pera. The lucky hat, lucky Yankee hat. Hey, Derek, you know what? I'm wearing my lucky Yankee hat, but I'm also wearing my lucky Red Sox sweatshirt. So I didn't want to alienate all the Red Sox Yankee fans here today. So being a good Canadian that I am, I thought I told the line. Hey, I told that Yankee Red Sox line today. Us Canadians, right? We're very we don't pick a lot of sides. We just stay right in the middle. But, you know what? I will give a pick on that game later on, and I'll tell you guys who I like tonight with the Yankees and Red Sox. But looking at the standing, let me see if you can see the consensus picks of last week. I wonder if they're already taken off. Maybe, let me see here. Last week, consensus, Broncos didn't win. Arizona won. Baltimore won. Chargers won. Seahawks, Jacksonville. Jacksonville covered. Green Bay covered. And Chicago covered, and Tennessee didn't cover. Wow, the consensus last week at the World Series of Handicapping had a pretty good week. We went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, if you count that, that's twice. 7 and 3. Not a bad thing. Yeah, Rusty's doing great, Gloria. We took him for a walk yesterday, and Rusty's back. He's taking us for a walk these days. So, anybody who's got a 42 kilogram black lab, and you know how labs are, right? I love the black labs, but now I think I should have went with the golden lab, because I don't know what it is with black labs. They're just more energetic compared to the golden labs, right? But Rusty is man. There's the inside joke with me and my wife every time we take Rusty for a walk is who gets the first leg, because that's when he's more energetic, right? So whoever gets Rusty on the first leg of the walk is more crustier than the other person, eh? And normally if you get the second leg of the walk, it's a more pleasant walk when you're walking Rusty. So that's the inside joke between me and my wife when we walk Rusty. All right, let me see here. Hoodie White Sox, so you like that one, Derek? Cole is 15 earned runs last 3 games. Yeah, I saw that too. I watched your Red Sox video already and taking your recommendations, says Peyton Sports Girl. Yeah, I do like that game. I'll tell you that in just a few minutes. In fact, all right, so we looked at the leader here. So if you're watching, let me see here. Let's go back to our standings on the World Series of Handicapping.com. Falchu, hey, our good friend Falchu, Kevin. Kevin won the tournament there, I think the 6th season, and I believe he's from the other side of the pond. I think he's from Ireland or England or something like that. Wasted 24, 19-9, so these are your top 3 in the Phenom, having some good contests right here at the World Series of Handicapping.com contest. All right, what else we got on deck here? What's next? We are go the SBI. Let's go take a look at what has come in the NFL the last couple days, and let's go to the SBI. The SBI stands for Sports Betting Index. And let's take a look at the NFL week number 4 and see if the underdogs are still winning the day. In fact, it was a favorite night last night. So last night, the favorite won. On the week, we are now 7, 8, 9, and 7 this week in week number 4. So you can see the favorites won 56.3% of the game straight up. The under cashed in at 56.3. In fact, the under the last 2 weeks, look at that. Week 3, 68.8. 56.3. So some defenses are showing up these days. And the underdog, look at that, the underdog again. When did the favorites ever win a week? The favorites have not won a week yet this year. 56.3% week number 4. And look at the underdogs. Underdogs are biting real hard right now in the NFL. 59.4%. If you're a dog player, either a bettor or contest player, and this is why, if you follow the Rain Report, I bet a lot of underdogs. That's why I'm smiling like a butcher's dog, because underdogs are winning 59.4% of the games. And let's see if we can take a quick sneak peek at college football. And let's take a look. Football is a little different in college, right? 77.4% of the college football favorites are winning this season through 6 weeks. And the reason why we say 6 weeks is because the program doesn't understand that week 0 is 4 games, right? So we call that week 1. So that's why if you're saying, hey, there's only been 5 weeks, you're showing 6. Well, our database doesn't recognize week 0; it recognizes week 1. So that's the answer to that question, if you're ever wondering. Looking at the over/unders, look at that, 59.5% of the unders in college football. Wow, I didn't see that. That was a sneak attack on me right there on totals. 59.5% of the unders have come in college football. Wow, that's okay. Hey, you got my attention now, football totals. And looking at week number 5/6, 52.5% of the underdogs last week, 45.9% of the favorites, and on the year, even Steven, right? 48.5% of the favorites have covered, 49.4% in college football. Good morning, Mitchell Watson, just logging into the bullpen. Give me the Sox tonight, says Mitchell. Mitchell's he's a Boston Red Sox fan. All right, for tonight, anyways. Okay, so here's one thing. So you remember last Sunday, I went through a little exercise with you guys, right? I said, let's do a little exercise, perception versus reality. And I love doing this. Did I already bring it up here, or maybe it's over here? No, okay, I'll have to go and go get it. So here it is right here. So here are everything in green is all your hottest teams right now in the NFL. I call these the bullish teams, right? And normally those are teams that are 3-0. And I look at football and I look at it like the stock market, right? As you all know, I take my sports betting and I try to mix in a bit of a stock market analogy, the markets and market psychology, right? I look at my good friend Ross Benjamin, who says this all the time: think like a bookmaker. And the thing is, you also got to think like a bettor, right? As much as you got to think like a bookmaker, you also got to think like a sports bettor. And what I created a couple of years ago is what I call my SBI, the Sports Betting Index. And basically what this does, it gives me an idea of how the market is perceiving teams right now, right? So in the NFL, everything green is bullish, all right? And that means they're 3-0. Everything in yellow that you see, teams that are in yellow, I call that neutral teams. So if you look at it from a market point of view, from the bettor point of view, or the sports book, these are teams that really, you don't really have a high opinion, but you don't have a low opinion either, right? You're right there in the neutral market. And then the pink, right here, these are teams that are bearish. These are teams that, have the best value, but from a market psychology point of view, you've probably given up on these teams on betting them again, right? But again, that's how the bookmaker wants you to think. They want you to think that those teams in pink or / red, depending on your monitor, is they don't want you touching those teams. But those are the teams that have the best value. Now, the team with the less value are the hottest teams, right? The teams that I consider bullish teams right now. And there's only one team in the NFL that is bullish right now, and that is undefeated, is the Arizona Cardinals. But if you look at the bull cycle, and these are teams that are 3-0 in their last 3 games, and these are teams that, there's probably no hesitation on you picking them the next game. If you're a square, right? If you're Joe Public, you're probably saying, I'm taking this team, they're hot. But that's not, you can't think like that. So Arizona, Baltimore, Green Bay, Buffalo, Cleveland, and Dallas. When I mentioned those names, your dopamine just kicked in, right? Saying, I love those teams. Those are very bullish teams. Yeah, of course, everybody loves them, right? Everybody loves teams that make you green, just like money, right? That's why we put it in green. Hey, it's a cash business, baby. Hey, we're in the cash industry. So all these teams in green, these are very bullish teams right now. The team in yellow, now these are teams that you could, talk yourself in or out of those teams, right? So when I'm talking Tampa Bay, Washington, Chicago, Chargers, Bengals, Raiders, Panthers, Rams, Broncos, Titans, Giants, Jets, Colts, Patriots, Vikings, Falcons, Saints, Niners, Seahawks, and Chiefs. Of all those names, the only name that really you probably still want to consider them bearish is the Jets, right? Even though they beat Tennessee, sometimes when a team has scarred you so deep in the past, you won't believe it until they get bullish, right? But those are the teams that are very neutral right now in the market of the NFL. And when you look at these teams in pink or red, depending on your monitor, these are teams that you've probably given up on right now. When I mentioned the Pittsburgh Steelers, Miami Dolphins, Houston Texans, Philadelphia Eagles, Jacksonville Jaguars, what a mess that is. I can probably do a whole show on that team right now. And the Detroit Lions, those are teams that you've probably given up from a point spread point of view, right? Probably not. You're probably not picking these teams, in the next round for your survivor pools, right? You're probably giving up on these teams in your survivor pool. You might need them though, in a few weeks when they probably face each other. But these are teams that you probably don't really want right now, right? But they're the teams that have the best value when you're going to play them against the point spread. And we'll look at that later on this week, right? Steelers, Dolphins, Texans, Eagles, Jags, and Lions. Those are teams that I call very bearish right now in the NFL. All right, I just wanted to get that out there today. And it's a Ruby Tuesday, so, we're just going to start setting the table. It's like a restaurant, right? Bring the napkins on a Tuesday. Wednesday we'll put the salt and pepper shaker out there. Thursday we'll bring the plates. And Friday, we'll do like Zeke does, we eat on Friday. We're going to eat that, we'll eat that pasta on Friday. Or are you guys steaks, meat, potatoes? Are we pasta or meat, potatoes? I don't know. I like steak. Meat, potatoes. But, so that's what we're going to do here at the Rain Report. We'll lead on Friday when it comes to NFL football. All right, NFL. Oh, you know what? Speaking of football, the computer picks had another good week. In fact, let me see how I can get that. No, I can't bring it. It's on my Excel sheet. I'd have to do a different screen. But anyway, I'll tell you guys. The computer picks in week number 4 in all the 3 newsletters that I subscribe to. So ATS obviously is ours. Newsletter number 1 went 9-7, and newsletter number 2 went 10-6. So on the season, straight up, our computer picks are 40-24 for 62.5%. Newsletter number 1, 37-27 for 57%, 0.8. And newsletter number 2 is tied with us at 62.5. So if you are a member of ATS Stats and you're playing the computer picks, they're winning at a 62% clip. And now I can't wait to show you this. This is our new system forecast. So let me see if we're right here. So if you go to the front page now of atsstats.com, you're going to see on the right side menu right here, the new system forecast. So when you click on it, it's going to take you to the next page. And on that page, the only system that is live right now is NFL and college football. That's why when you look at we have NFL and college football, the only buttons that are live on the front page. So let's go to NFL, and then, maybe tomorrow I'll go through college football to show you guys how this works. Now, if you're watching live, you guys can watch the replay after, because it's a very detailed tip sheet, and I'm going to be talking about value, percentage play, and indicators, right? So if you look at this, we have the matchups right here. So we'll just take a look at the Sunday team, the Thursday night game between the Rams and the Seahawks. Now the Rams are 2.5 point favorite. The over/under is at 54.5. Now the computer pick on the new system. Now system is completely different than team system. A team system means when the LA Rams of the past have been in this situation of 2.5 to 54.5. And, here's the accumulated score that we've done. But the league system is any team. So when you click on the LA Rams right here, you're going to see the next page when any NFL team since 1983, now we're going back to 1983. That's a long time ago. Any team, I think that was the first year I was in high school. Hey, that's how old I'm getting right now. I just told you guys, 1983, a good year. I think it was in grade 9 that year. But any NFL team that's a pick'em to -3 road favorite, and the totals between 54.5 and 57. If you scroll right down, I give you all the results of those teams that are exactly in this situation that the LA Rams are in. Is it Rams or Seattle? Yeah, Rams, right? I believe it was the Rams. Let me see. Yeah, LA Rams. So any NFL team that's a pick in the -3 road favorite totals 54.5 to 57. And look at that. And if you go back and you look at the line right here, you can see that we have the lines. It's all right here and all the totals and the scores. And if you look at way down at the bottom, those NFL road favorites of pick 'em to -3 totals, what did I say, 54.5 to 57. They are 8-10 straight up for only 44% win percentage, 7-10-1 against the number, and 7-11. A good score right there. 61% to the under. So this is the new forecast system. And if you go to the Seattle Seahawks and you click on it, you will see that any NFL home underdog of pick 'em to -3 and the totals between 54.5 to 57. You know, I say it all the time on these shows, right? History is a great teacher. And we are now, and think about this, perception versus reality. And what's the perception going into Thursday night game between the Rams and the Seahawks? We can sit here for an hour and tell you about all the indicators, but you've made your mind, you preconceived some type of perception of going in that game, right? But here's the facts. Any team in the past that is going into the exact situation as D2 teams are going since 1983. Look at the home underdog in this role this weekend. They are 10-8, 55% straight up, 10-7-1 against the point spread, 55%, and 7-11 to the under. So you can see we have two teams going into Sunday night's game with the under being considered at 61.1%. The LA Rams have a chance of winning at 44. Now, here's what I find interesting. You got the LA Rams that are favorite of 2.5, but their chances of winning based on 18 previous games from 18 different other games that are, that have already played those games, but the Rams are going into this situation based on the handicappers line of what they thought was in the past. And the forecast of the average score is 27.3 to 27. But the Seahawks have a 55% chance of winning and covering the spread, and the under is at 61.1%. Now, here's the other tool I want to show you. Now, in order, let me see if this Tampa Bay right here. Tampa Bay, does it have the next? Yeah, perfect. All right. So if you go back here, let me just, I'll bring up two windows. So this way it makes a better tutorial if you're watching on the replay. So I don't keep going back and forth. All right, let's go back to that Seattle game. And now you see what I did right here? When any NFL teams a -10.5 to 13.5, and now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a 10.5 point favorite. The 47.5 is the total in that game, right? So I put a range, and the range for this total is 47.5 to 51. Now here's a coming off situation. Tampa Bay is coming off one straight up win. Now the reason why you're seeing this here and you're not seeing one here coming off is because there was not 10 occurrences. In order for this system to be live, I needed 10 occurrences. If there's only 3 occurrences, 3 occurrences doesn't mean nothing to me. It needs a minimum of 10. And if we have 10 previous games that have an occurrence, that team is coming off one straight up win. So think about this. Any NFL team, home favorite of 10.5 to 13.5, totals between 47.5 and 51, and that team's coming off a win. What's their record in the next game? 13-1 straight up, 11-3 against the point spread, 7-7 to the over/under. Now let's take a look at the other side of the coin, and let's take a look at the Miami Dolphins. So the Dolphins 10.5 point favorite, 47.5 is the total, and there's no coming off situation here for the road team. So there's no coming off situation, so that it's one less indicator that is going to be included into the search query, right? So any NFL teams in the past that were a 10.5 to 13.5 point road underdog, totals between 47.5 and 51, what's their record? Probably not good against the point spread. Look at that, 5-45. Not a good. So this is what I mean. This is probably a good tool for your Survivor Series if you're in the Survivor pools. And 5-45 for only 10%. So the Miami Dolphins, based on how many games in the past did we say? That situation, 50 something? Yeah, 50 games. So based on 50 games, I should have known that with 5-45. Hey, I'm not too sharp this morning on a Ruby Tuesday, but I should have seen that right there. 50 games. So based on 50 games in the past, only 10% of the teams that were in the exact situation that the Miami Dolphins are in this Sunday have only won 10% of their games, and they've only covered 34%, and the under is at 48%, 25, 48, and 1. So that should be actually, you see, this is throwing off the percentage play. So it's basically close to 50%, right? So let's take a look here at one more. I'll do one more, and then we'll get on to the baseball show. All right, Green Bay Packers, 3.5-point favorite. Now we got 105 situations right here. So they're 3.5. The over-under's at 49.5. So any NFL team that's a 3.5 to 6.5-point road favorite in the past, and the total was 47.5 to 51, that team, based on a lot of games right here, what we say, 200 and something, or 100 and something, 78-27, so 74.2% win percentage, but they've only covered 52% of those games. And the under, actually this is the over. So the over is 61-44. So that means the under is 41-9. So the under is only hit 41.9% of those games. And you can see the point spread at 55%. And when you look at Cincinnati, now the Bengals are a 3.5-point favorite this weekend. The over-under is at 49. Oh yeah, the forecast of that Tampa Bay Miami game, 32-15. So again, this column here will give you the forecast. This column here will give you the chances of winning straight up. This column right here will give you the percentage play of covering the spread of those previous teams in the past. And then this column here, the chance of game going under the total is at 41.9. So we call that the KOGU instead of the KOGO. So KOGO stands for chance of game going over and chance of under going under the total, right? And then based on how many amounts of games. Now, hopefully I'm not boring you guys here, but I think it's very important to go through all of this. So this way, if you are using the tool here at ATS, you have a really good understanding on how it works. What's the mindset going into building this tool? What's the blueprint, right? And give you a better explanation here. And as long as you guys are okay, and you're not putting you to sleep. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this little tutorial here. All right, Cincinnati, a 3.5-point underdog. The over/under at 49.5. Now the forecast has 28-22 favoring Green Bay, so it likes Green Bay to win the game straight up and to cover. If you take this 28-22, they haven't winning by 6. But if you look at the chances of winning, 74.2% chance of winning, but only a 52.3% chance of covering. Now you must, if you're thinking, okay, Ron, how come the forecast has Green Bay winning 28-22, but the chance of winning is at 52? The chance of covering is at 52.8%. That it has nothing to do with the forecast. It has everything to do, when I go look back at 105 games, how many of these 105 games did the road favorite cover the spread when they were a 3.5 to 6.5 point road favorite, and the total is between 47.5 and 51. And what we do is we take all these scores right here, and that's the accumulated average. So if you're wondering how I come up with the average, we take all the scores right here, so 38-22, 20-26, and we break it down for the road favorite and the home underdog, and then we give you the accumulated forecast of what the score was in those 105 games. And as you can see, it was 28-22, and 52% of those games cover the spread. So if you wanted a good idea, hey, you know what? It's very, very, very tight when it comes to numbers, right? And 41.9% of those games went under the total. And so it does like to, so if it's at 41.9% chance of going under, what does that tell you? It tells you that there's a 58.1% chance of this game going over the total. So if you just take the KOGU, the chance of game going under, and just look at the opposite side, if it's a 41.9%, so if you round it off at 42, that means there's a 58% chance of this game going over the total, and maybe that helps you with your handicapping, right? Tools in the toolbox, right? I constantly talk about tools in the toolbox, and the one thing when I look at sports handicapping, and you hear me say this all the time, the goalposts have changed in sports betting. It's not like it was when I first got in '96. In '96, it was not as complicated as it is today. You got so much information back then. Think about this. In 1996, newspapers, not every newspaper was online yet. So there was only USA Today. There was, maybe the LA Times, the Toronto Star. So it wasn't all the little newspapers that you see in Wisconsin or Seattle or Ottawa. It took time for all these the information outlets to get online, right? So with time, what happened is that information got processed online, and then once that information got processed online, things changed. It was a game changer, because before you'd have to ask somebody who lived in Wisconsin, hey, what's the Packers? Who was at practice this week? Now you got a beat reporter at practice tweeting about it in 10 seconds, where before you needed probably like snail mail to write a letter or get back to you. And the process of how fast and lightning quick that information was getting to us today compared to back in the day that's why you see the line moves as crazy as they do today, right? So it's all about technology, getting things online, and so that's why this is why I build these things, these tools, because at the end of the day, I've done a lot of research. I think Malcolm Gladwell says it in one, I think it's his book Outlier. He says in his book that in order to really be a pro at something, or to be like considered a tradesman or somebody that's an expert in that field, you need to put 10,000 hours into your craft, right? And I put more than 10,000 hours in sports betting. And the one thing that, you can build all these tools. I've built many tools, but the thing that I keep coming back to, and it just, every handicapper out there, any sports bettor, everybody's going for the caramel secret, right? What's the golden goose? What's the golden egg, right? What's the caramel secret? How can we I don't want to be good. I want to be great. I want to win. I want to win more, right? No one likes losing. In this, if losing could be a really, from a psychological point of view, very depressing factor when you're into sports betting. But winning is very contagious. And when you win at a high clip, it's much better than losing. That's all I can say, right? And you become infected. You become when you want to win, it's contagious, and you just want to keep getting better. I don't want to be good at sports betting. I want to be great at sports betting. And what's the difference between good and great? It could be 5%, right? If you're a 52% handicapper compared to a 57% handicapper, 57% handicapper makes money. A 52% handicapper or better does not make money. And that's the difference between good and great, is that, I say the magic number is 56%. But getting back to my story here on why I keep creating these tools and what I keep coming back to, it's one thing: percentage play. I say it all the time in these videos. How do you handicap the last 10 seconds of a basketball game? You can't. You absolutely have no resources that tells you that the Raptors and Sixers in the last 10 seconds are going to be tied at 94. You know what? The only thing that really can tell you is the percentage play of both teams entering that game. And teams can't win forever. Teams can't lose forever. But you got to find cycles of those teams on when they're going to win next, when they're going to lose next, and the percentage play will lead you. It's a game of inches. In this sport, decimals, right? It's a game of like fractions of decimals when you're breaking down the point spread, and sometimes it's and you got to be lucky. I don't care what anybody says. You can have analytics, you can have situational handicapping, you can have biorhythms, you can have every tool in your toolbox. You need lady luck. If you don't have lady luck in your toolbox, it's part of the game, right? Sometimes you got to be lucky to be good and good to be lucky. But percentage play, and that's why the Rain Report: value, percentage play, and find those performance cycles and marry those three. If you can marry value, percentage play, and performance cycles, then you will have yourself a confidence system. And the thing that, I say it all the time when I coach football: the most dangerous person in the world is the person with confidence. And once you get confidence and you build your confidence into the system that you believe in, you got to believe in your system, because if you don't believe in your system, no one else will, right? If you don't, no one else will. But have a system and just make sure that you include value, percentage plays, and performance cycles, and then marry those three together, and you'll build yourself a great robot. All right. Another Ron Raymond rant here on a Ruby Tuesday. You know what? It's a quiet Tuesday since there's only baseball, and I said today would be a good time to show the new forecast. So this is the new forecast, guys. And you know what? Right now we only have it for college football and the NFL, and I'll do college football tomorrow. We'll go through some of the games, but just think about this. Wait till the NBA. Went to the NBA starts, and we got this tool to do NBA. It's gonna in NHL. Major League Baseball, CFL, it's going to be a game changer. This to me, this is a game changer. When you can take the past teams, and you're not just taking those teams, you're taking. Think about this. You're taking the history of those two teams in the past that are playing, but you're also taking the perception of the bookmaker's mind back in those days in 1983. Why did the bookmakers make the say the Buffalo Bills a 3-point favorite, and why did the bookmakers made the Dallas Cowboys a 3-point underdog? So you're taking not only that game matchup, but you're taking the mindset of the bookmaker and how he came up with that line. So perception versus reality, and this to me will be a game changer when we do the complete forecast report. Right? I'm still trying to think of a new name for this software, but I think right now I'm going to call it the final score forecast. I was going to call it PASCAS, like past performance and forecast. PASCAS. It doesn't, it doesn't have I don't know. It doesn't do it for me right now. All right, let's go to the Major League Baseball, and let's go to that game here tonight between the Yankees and the can't be the Yankees in New York because it's the same team. The Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. And again, if you're tuning in for the first time and you're saying, why is that idiot wearing a Red Sox jersey, sweatshirt, and a Yankees hat? I'm torn. There's a song out there, Torn Between Two Lovers, but this is torn between two teams. The Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. You got Nathan Eovaldi going up tonight against Garrett Cole. Now, Garrett Cole has not looked like a Cy Young candidate in his last three outings, right? Giving up 15 earned runs in his last three starts, and Nathan Eovaldi didn't even get out of the second inning against the Red Sox in his last game. So if you look at 2 weeks ago when he played the New York Yankees, and I believe that game was it at New York or it was in Boston. I believe that game was in Boston. It was on hang on here. Let me go up here. September 24th. That's right. So 2.2 innings, 7 hits, 7 runs, 2 walks, 0 strikeouts. In fact, I think it was the only game this year that Nathan Eovaldi did not have a strikeout. Believe it or not, that was the only game this season Nathan Eovaldi did not have a strikeout this season, and that was on September 24th against the New York Yankees. Now, going into this game, you got the bookmakers minus 119 is the line. Now, that line could be something a little bit different right now. The total's at 8. I really thought this total would have been 9, 8.5, 9. When I saw 8, I said, you know what? A 5-3 win gets you your money back. So, according to the database here, 16 simulated games in the database, we have 3.8 for the Boston Red Sox, 3.4 for the Yankees. So the computer pick does like the Bull Sox in this one. Boston coming off a 3-game win streak. In fact, they needed a little bit of late innings heroics in their last 2 games. Keep in mind, their last 2 games, they were behind in those games. I think they were behind in the Washington. No, that's right. Washington came back on the Saturday night. I think it was 5-3 and they came back, or 3-1. What was the final in that second game against? It was 5-3 final, and I think what was the final? Was it 3-1 for the Red Sox, and the Nationals made it 3-3, and then that's right. The Red Sox got 2 in the ninth, right? So Boston, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And right now, Boston finished strong. So did the Yankees, winning 1-0 against the Tampa Bay Rays. And the Rays did not mail it in. The Rays played everybody. The Kittenridge came in the ninth. And it was, as a Blue Jay fan, I don't feel shafted or anything like that teams melded in or they put in their backups. I thought both teams played hard. And, deserving or not, it is what it is. And it's the Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. Now, going into tonight's game, I like the over tonight between the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. Now, the only thing that a little concerns me is that I'm a law of average guy, right? And you got Nathan Eovaldi, didn't pitch well against the Yankees in the last start. But when you look at his last start against Baltimore, he did go 6 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs. So he did have a nice outing against Baltimore. But keep in mind, it's Baltimore, right? And then the Yankees for Garrett Cole, 16-8 on the year, 3.23 ERA. just very sporadic in the last month or so. I find that the Garrett Cole, 6 strikeouts against Toronto, against Boston, but 15. Let me see here. So, earned runs, 15 earned runs in his last 3 starts. That's but it's still the Yankees. It's October. Yankees, the over. So when the New York Yankees travel, I'm going to show you this here, right here. I did this in my other video this morning, and I'll go to my database to show you guys this. So you go to the regular database, and you go to MLB, and let's take a look at this here. So the New York Yankees, when they go to Boston at Fenway in the month of October, the record's not that great, but in the last 10. I'm just talking the last 10 games. So let's go last 10 and the month of October. Okay, October baseball. 4-6, but 7-3 to the over. That's one indicator why I like the over. And when I look at the Boston Red Sox last 45 days at Fenway, the over is 13-6 in the last 45 days. And let me see here. Let's see how baseball. I want to see let's go back to the database, and let's see how Boston has done at home in October. And let's say last 25, or let's do last 20, 15. Yeah, you know what? Let's meet in the middle, and let's see how Boston has done in October last 15. 8-7. Look, but wow, look at that. Boston Red Sox 13-2 in October, the last 15 games. That's pretty impressive. And that's why I don't like to touch in a one game series. Anything can happen, right? 15-5 last 20, and that's why I don't like the side, betting the side. Even though you might feel attracted to the -119 price here on Boston, I think you want to lean to the over today between the Red Sox and the New York Yankees. All right, there you have it. Appreciate your concern. Thanks so much. That said, the lights out will be minutes after this show. I'm feeling drained. That will be fun time. Okay, what am I missing here? Oh, there's Arnold. How you doing, Arnold? I miss. There's Lex Steele. Hey, Lex Steele just came out of his telephone booth. Hey, Lex Steele is our Marvel comic superhero here. He has well, obviously he's not, but we just say he is because he's got like a name like a Marvel super comic hero. Hey, there's Lex Steele coming in the bullpen in the 9th inning out of his telephone booth. My New York Yankees over 8 runs. Gloria K. Underdog, did you get a coffee break? Nope, still here. Good, just worried about you. Haha. Peyton Sport, that'll be fun game to play. Live towards the over. Hoping for a low score in first and second innings, says Gloria. Peyton Sports Girl. Should have lots of information. Keep up. All right. So there you have it. That is today's show here for a Ruby Tuesday. Again, very quiet day at the bullpen. In fact, if you're betting NHL hockey tonight, there is some good games here tonight in the NHL, and I'm going to show you the lines on tonight's game, and I'll show you the matchups, and get these from Bookmaker. That's the book I use, and it's one of the most trusted ones. Hockey, NHL, and then I'll do NBA. So the Predators playing the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes a 168 favorite. The over-under at 6. You got Buffalo taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Pittsburgh a 207 favorite. The over-under at 6. Habs and Leafs tonight. You got Toronto coming off a win last night in Ottawa. But, the preseason, right? The different lineups. -158 is the line. Over-under at 6. Look at all the 6s here. Florida-Tampa, the Battle of Florida. 163 on the Lightning. The over-under is 6.5. Flyers-Islanders. -202 for the Boatmen there at 5.5. Dallas-St. Louis, -133 for the Dallas Stars. Over-under at 6. Colorado against Vegas, -178. The over-under at 6. And Seattle Kraken at Vancouver, -148 for Vancouver. The over-under at 6. And the LA Kings, -133. The over-under at 6. Now, the one thing I did notice here, every home team is a favorite tonight. Hey, something to watch out betting preseason. And you know what? And the reason probably every team, the home team is favorite, think about it. What do the home teams want to do? They want to sell tickets, right? So why? There's like some type of agreement where, if you're playing a team at home, they have their best players and the other team brings their B team, right? It's about selling tickets, and that's how you got to think sometimes. You got to think like a bookmaker or like a bettor. And that's why I think you're seeing a lot of home favorites right now being all the home teams being all the favorites. All right, let's take a look at the NBA. I don't think it's like that in the NBA though. Maybe it is. You got the Pacers against New York Knicks. The Knicks a 2-point favorite. The over-under at 213.5. Bucks taking on the Grizzlies. Home team's favorite again, 4.5. The over-under at 220. Houston taking on the Wizards. The Rockets are favorite. Another home team favorite. Every team's a favorite in NHL and basketball preseason. Go figure. 224 is the total. And then the Chicago Bulls against Cleveland. They should be a favorite against Cleveland. 5.5 and the over-under at 216. Anyway, something to ponder if you are handicapping today's NHL and NBA systems or games. All right, there you have it. That is today's show in a nutshell for a Ruby Tuesday, October 5th. Hopefully you guys will enjoy the new final score prediction forecast. Yesterday, easy money on Toronto and Caps. Money line at plus money says Lex Steele. I guess he's betting, Toronto going against the Ottawa Senators, right? Well, yeah, Ottawa's going to be a good team. They just got to sign Tkachuk, and then they'll be ready to go. You got to get your captain in the lineup. All right, folks, have yourself a great. Oh wait, did I miss anything? Don't forget, check out atscalculator.com if you want to do the forecast on your NFL, college football, and if you want to calculate those parlays, check out parlaycalculator.com. Put in your numbers and then put in the amount you're betting, and then calculate those totals. So let's say, for instance, I got a 3-team parlay of minus 150, an underdog of 160, and another, say, 110, and I'm betting $200 on this. And what does it pay out? $1,400, $1,454, right? And that's how you use the parlay calculator here at parlaycalculator.com. And so there you go. All right, hey Ron, I see a big upset in college football this weekend. You know what? I haven't, Daryl, handicapped the college football yet. That's what I do in the afternoon on Tuesdays. But I will get to, maybe Wednesday or Thursday for sure. I'll let you know who I like this weekend. All right, folks, have yourself a great rest of your Ruby Tuesday for a October 5th. This was Ron Raymond on the Raymond Report. And as I always say when I log off, hasta la vista, baby. I'll see you mañana. Cheers.